Welcome back to another episode of the One-Armed Wonder. A lot has happened since the last time we spoke. We had Thanksgiving, which was interesting because I usually do a large portion of the meal. That's where I started to find out that I had a big interest for cooking one-handed. I'm going to work more on it, but it's definitely works better with creative expletives, I found. Rachel agrees with that as well. Anyway, hopefully you guys had a good holiday. We did. It wasn't as restful as we would have wanted it to be, but of course everyone's trying to pick up some slack. A lot of updates. I started therapy. That's physical, not mental. We all know that crazy gives me my edge. I have another appointment coming up soon. I feel like it's a positive thing. I'm moving in the right direction. It makes me feel like I'm going to get where I need to be. Physical therapist is pretty good. He definitely knows how to work on what I've got going on, so I feel pretty good about that. One of the things I wanted to add is, sorry I haven't made a video in a while. It's actually more difficult than you can imagine for me. Usually when I'm speaking, I'm used to looking at awkward smiles and blank stares, and instead I have to look at myself, which is kind of like talking in the mirror. You think it would make me respect YouTubers a little bit more, but it doesn't. It's actually very strange. I don't know why there's so many people who do this. Anyway, I'll try my best to ignore myself talking to myself. A lot of people are really interested. There's been a lot of traction with the new technique that I discussed a couple episodes ago. I want to elaborate a little bit on that. There's 3 issues that I've kind of come up with. One would be the name. We don't want to scare people off or turn them off to it before we can even start the phase of testing. And so I've come up with a couple of different ideas. I think I'm going to stick with Latin, maybe like inferior posterior technique, or gluteal. Not gluteal, because people are like, oh, gluteal, I know what that means. Maybe like just gluteal, straight up like that. Sounds a little better than, hey, the butt technique. The other thing is sanitation. We want to make sure it's clean. We might have to adapt some kind of thing that covers some kind of apparatus. The other thing that's always pretty common in chiropractic is inter-examiner reliability. And that's basically just a big word that means that things can be hard to do amongst lots of different types of people. And so, with this technique, some people might be more formidable than others. And that could bring on its whole other issue. So these are the questions I'm trying to toy around with. In the meantime, I'm starting to perfect one-handed present wrapping. We can get into that. And like I said, I'm also working on the one-handed cooking. Chopping's definitely a chore. So it's nice speaking to myself again. Hopefully you guys have some questions. We can answer that in the future. We'll get back to you soon.